In this video, we will be reviewing the Infinity EA MT5 by Mr. Abhimanyu Hans. Stick around to the end to see if this is a real EA, worth your time, or just another MQL5 scam. This video is sponsored by Prosperity Algo and our free Golden Time Bomb Expert Advisor. Do you want to make 100+% annual returns through automating the London breakout and the opening range breakout? Then click the link in the description. So this EA is rapidly going to the top of the MQL5 marketplace, so I'm sure quite a few people are interested in hearing reviews on it, and I wanted to cover that for our channel as well. And this bot trades the GBP USD, gold, and Aussie dollar Canadian dollar, which is kind of a unique assortment of pairs because like Aussie CAD is a very mean reverting pair. Gold is obviously very volatile and more of a breakout pair. And GBP is somewhere kind of in the middle. Like you can trade both mean reverting as well as you can trade breakouts with it due to the low spreads. But it's quite an eclectic mix of pairs. It's fairly rare that you'll see a bot that trades Aussie CAD and gold simultaneously. And here it says it focuses on safety, consistency, and infinite profitability. Oh, infinite profitability definitely sounds exciting, but we will see how that looks in a backtest. And it says it does not use high-risk strategies such as martingale or grid trading, and it uses a scalping strategy based on neural network embedded over machine learning data analytics AI powered by ChatGPT. Okay, so this seems like the classic MQL5 website where they tell you about all the phenomenal AI features that the bot uses, but they don't actually explain how it's using AI, because you can very well use ChatGPT, you can use large language models and a variety of different techniques that leverage AI and machine learning. But typically you would need to have either an API call, you would need to have files associated with it, or some very detailed, hard-coded neural networks within the actual expert advisor. And unfortunately, this bot is not telling us how that happens. And here he's saying that it's using ChatGPT, but it's not actually telling us how it's entering trades. So we don't have a great idea of how it's deciding to make trading decisions, except for the fact that it is indeed a scalping robot. And yeah, he gave a little promotional video here where he just talks briefly about the video, about the bot. You're welcome to check that out. Here you're able to also select a few different settings and risk parameters. And from what we can see so far, the backtests look exceptionally rosy. And unfortunately, there's no live signal, so we're not able to get a really great idea of how it's working. But apparently it's being purchased 100 times this month, so clearly they're doing very well with this bot. And if we go over to the reviews page, which I just wanted to kind of look at that before diving into the backtest, because from what I can see, there are quite a few positive reviews, but the ones which seem written in a bit more authentic ways seem to be relatively unhappy with the bot. So like this guy here saying that he lost a certain amount of money. Whereas like if you read some of the really, really good 5-star reviews, like as a native English speaker, we kind of know that nobody actually writes like that, right? Like I can read something like this one from Mr. Jacob Garcia and see that like no person would actually write like this because the English is too good to be a non-native speaker and it's too robotic sounding to sound like a human. So I'm not 100% sure like about this. This is pure speculation on my behalf, so don't read too much into it, but it looks like there might be a bit of manipulation in terms of reviews in the comments. But now we can actually head over to the MT5 terminal, where I've taken the liberty of downloading the bot and running a quick backtest. I was just flipping through the reviews there as well. We can see that it's the exact same page as before. And I ran a backtest here, and it turned $10,000 into, I believe this is $5.4 million. And this was over a 1-year period. So I'm sure you guys can see that clearly this is ridiculous, right? Like if you could really turn 10K into $5.4 million, you likely would not sell it for any amount of money, much less $800. That would be relatively illogical, right? At the same time here, we can see that, well, there's no indication as to how it's actually trading. Just to quickly go through the backtest statistics, we can see that it's winning around 97% of the time. It actually does have an inverted risk reward, but not nearly as inverted as we would expect relative to the win rate. So something is quite fishy. And this is using 100% history quality from the 8-cap broker. And let's just quickly go through all of the inputs here just to fully understand how it works. You can choose between your GPT models, like GPT Turbo and GPT Model, whatever that means. Like, I'm not so sure if there is a difference between them. And here you can use auto lot, full throttle, just to kind of assume or determine how it's going to be sizing positions. And here you're able to toggle on the risk for the different pairs, which is kind of interesting. And you can turn on aggressive or normal mode. And then finally, there's also some filters regarding the days of the week. So obviously it does not trade Saturday and Sunday. And you can even turn on the AI Insights panel. So no indication of how it actually trades or makes decisions from that. It's more related to risk settings as well as a few filters. But let's now run a quick visual backtest to see if perhaps we get a bit more information there. Okay, have it up here. We're not seeing any indicators, so there's no indicators running. It did enter a trade though, so let me just see what it does with that. Oh, and it's, there we go, so it's scalping. It's going exceptionally quickly. So it's opening a real plethora. The frequency isn't that crazy. It is very high, but it could be worse. The one thing I'm seeing here is there is a time filter, so it's not trading during certain parts of the day. Let's just quickly fast forward this. And it is faster than I was expecting. So usually with a lot of these maybe not super scrupulous bots, you do see them be very slow because they're reading from an alternative data source. Here it is reasonably quick. At the same time, we're also seeing a few losses, which would be like these little falls in the equity curve, but they're really not that meaningful if you compare it especially to just the amount of profits being generated. So I think so far we can see that this is clearly like a scam bot. Like there is like no bot is turning 10 grand into 5.4 million. And from the visual backtest, there's no indication as to how it's actually like making trading decisions. But all I know so far is that there is indeed a time filter. And once it's done with this particular trial, I will then go through and see if we can ascertain a bit more information. And it's just trading an absolute ton. It's going both long and short, I believe. In mostly long so far. Let me check to see. I've yet to see, okay. I think there were definitely like some sell trades, but maybe just fewer. Okay, let's go through and check the backtest. Yes, there's definitely some shorts. There's significantly fewer than longs. Okay, so now let's go through to see what approach it's taking. And it is trading almost perfectly with the trend, right? And some of these trades are like kind of more breakout style versus some of them are more counter trend mean reverting. Some of them are almost grid-like and close at similar times. So there's not really much rhyme or reason as to how these things work. Some of them are just like uber frequent and are like perfect scalps. And there is a time filter, so it's not trading during, I believe, kind of the end of New York session to Asian session. It starts up again, or here it actually is trading during the end of New York session. Okay. There is a time filter, but I would have to analyze it in more detail to see when it's actually triggering. And now the final test I'll do here is if we switch it to 1 minute open, high, low, close, if the equity curve suddenly looks even better. Yeah, okay. As expected. So guys, this is a scam. Don't buy this bot. It looks exceptionally fishy. It is clearly manipulated. I would venture a history reader is making trades in a completely, not random manner, but without a discernible strategy behind it. There is no live signals, and most of the reviews and comments look pretty fake to me. So please be careful. Let me know if you have any different opinions on this, but don't buy this bot. It does not look good. Take care, guys. Have yourselves a great evening.